I was working 50 hours a week and then I had an hour commute. So I was given 60 hours a week committed to this process. But because I knew I wanted to leave there, I was also given 40 plus hours a week to my real estate business. So although we may say that the minimum requirement is 10 to 12 hours, I was putting in 40 hours a week.
So my question is, so I'm always thinking of, bringing value to my career, right? So in a
Hmm.
real estate investing career. So I was thinking about once I move to Florida or wherever state I decide to move, it's not concrete right now. But once I get there, I was thinking about being a real estate agent, becoming that just to get value in both sides of the deal, so to speak. But the other part is I was thinking I want to be a home appraiser because I know how home appraisers are needed too on both sides of the deal. Would you look into something? I mean, I know you as a real estate agent, you explain like, you're not into it now, but you have respect for them. But would you get into something like that if you were thinking like passive income, like your first priority, passive income, or will you just kind of mix the two together?
So let me ask you a first question. What do you do currently?
Right now, I'm retired from driving. I used to be a owner of a gas fuel company.
Okay.
So things happened, and I've been retired from that a couple of years. Big
Okay.
lump sum of money. Um, lived under my means, so now I'm ready to do something like that. As far as passive income and not have to go to work physically again. So that's my
Yeah.
goal.
Well, congratulations, number one. So I just was trying to like peek into your world to see what else you got going on before I gave you what the answer that I think is best suited. Um, so this is what let me just start with the realtor piece. Actually, I could say this to both of them. I think inherently you need to have an appetite to want to do either, and your appetite shouldn't be necessarily because of their positioning um, in tandem with your real estate business. It should just be because you want to be an appraiser, you want to be a realtor. Because the truth of it is, right, to go out as an appraiser and try to chase down as many $400 checks as you can in a week, or to be an agent and try to chase down as many 3% commissions as you can, could you get a better yield on that time just putting more of that energy into your business and building it out to whatever you want it to look like?
I don't think so. I'm thinking, that's going to take a lot of time, so I can spend that with the OPM model you explained this week, and just, it's better ways to do it. So
Remember, right, you essentially starting three businesses at that point.
exactly.
Because if it's a side hustle, it's going to show up as that, and it's really going to be more of a time distraction than it is a money yield, right? So, in order for you to be you, which I've got a good idea of who you are now, to do anything the way that you do everything, those are going to become three businesses, and they're going to be competing with one another. So, I would get really solid on whatever one is going to give you the highest and best yield, which it sounds like probably is going to be real estate. Focus on that first. And then, if you want to diversify because you find that you got a passion for doing one or the two of those other pieces, then you could do that. I personally think the business is probably going to take you in some different directions, though. One thing you won't have to struggle with is how much time you invest into your business once you get this thing really going, right? So we encourage, like, we don't even let nobody come into our program unless they have at least 10 to 12 hours a week that they can put into their business, which is cumulatively like an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. Um, but it's because we've seen our most successful students have put at least that into their business. So I'm not interested in taking nobody money. If you don't have that kind of time allotted and you don't have a different strategy to negate that factor, then it's just probably not worth our time for you to get the best yield from coming into the program. I say that to say, at the very same time, before I retired from corporate America, I was working 50 hours a week and then I had an hour commute. So I was given 60 hours a week committed to this process. But because I knew I wanted to leave there, I was also given 40 plus hours a week to my real estate business. So although we may say that the minimum requirement is 10 to 12 hours, I was putting in 40 hours a week. And some like, well, how would you, it's 168 hours in a week, right? So I mean, I had 60 over here and 40 over here, and I figured out the rest to do it to 68. So your appetite being what it is, and I've been watching all the homework, and I hear your testimonial and your appetite. I think you'll get really consumed in what you're doing, and you won't have time for distractions.
Question, and I thought about this last night. with me never doing really been in real estate investing in things of that nature. What is the first step to get that process started?
Yeah. You know what's interesting? Most people think the first step is going out getting the websites and business cards and the LLC, but that's just the accoutrements of doing business. The first step is getting clear on your goals. That is the first step, right? The first step is just understanding what do you want to get out of it. And then after that, you go put the pieces and the processes together to give you what you want.